everyone, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Crafting with Claudia. I'm gonna have probably a long video today. I have not really pre-cut too much anything because I want to just go through several techniques with you, show you everything that I'm going to do to put this card together. But I think you're going to enjoy it, and I think it's something that you'll want to maybe try, one technique or another, or maybe a combination. It's always good to know how different techniques work so that you can do them for yourself or decide which ones you do like, which ones you think are just too much trouble. And right now the trouble is getting Facebook to let me share. Okay, share to a group, share, go. Okay, there we go. So today I'm going to be using my current favorite stamp set, Just a Note. And I already have the stamps that I need mounted. So just a note to say I love you. And then let me show you. I have this really cute envelope thin cut. It just comes by itself. It's called Mini Envelope. And I'm going to cut this piece of pattern paper from the Lovely collection. It's got pink with a very light polka dot on one side. How's the light on that? And then on the other side, it's got these stripes. So I'm going to cut an envelope just out of that. I do have some white daisy. I have some more peach cardstock and bluebell cardstock. And then I also have, of course, the stitched rectangle thin cut to cut our frame. I have this background thin cut that cuts all the different size hearts and stuff. It also makes a background, but I'm not going to be using it for the background. I'm going to be using it for the hearts. And then a couple months ago, I had cut out this, using this thin cut, a piece of our stencil paper so that I could have a stencil to ink with. And I pulled that back out today as well. So you can see there, it cut out all the hearts on this stencil. And now I can use this for inking, and I can just keep on using this for die cutting. So let's do one thing at a time so we can get all our pieces up and running. So first off, we're going to cut this little envelope. Let me bring in my die cut machine. This is just my little cuddle bug. I do have a big Sizzix Big Shot, but I can't bring that on screen. It's pretty big. It sits on my table. Okay, so I just make my little sandwich and put my die cut on just like that. Cover it, run it through the machine. So far for techniques, we've got die cutting. That's not a big deal as far as techniques go. It's pretty simple. So now we can decide if we want the inside to be the dots or the paper or the stripes. And I think I want the inside to be the polka dots. And so to make the envelope, I will just fold up the other sides. And I think that stripe actually looks really good for the outside of the envelope. So that's one piece done, and I'll set that aside. Let's see, what else do we need to cut? I also want to cut a bunch of hearts using that background heart die. Now, I don't have a piece of the peach paper big enough to cut all the way across, but I know that it'll cut a lot of the hearts. It'll make it at least that far, and I just need a variety, so that's okay with me. And I'll just place that down and run it through, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of little heart cutouts. There we go. just punch those out, and I'm gonna save them for the project. I'm gonna save this this piece of stencil too, because for a different card I could kind of just use it partial and then like cover the other part with some different paper, and you'd never know that it wasn't complete. So that's a good little leftover piece. And so now I need to gather all of these hearts and put them in a little bowl. I'm sure I've got a bowl. There we go. I just, oops. Oof. Just have this bowl from the dollar store or Walmart or something like that. And I just keep it to hold little things as I need them. And then when I'm done, I can just put that bowl out of my way. I'm gonna stick my envelope in there too, just so I don't forget it. Okay, what else do I need to do? Oh, okay. So we're gonna come back to more die cutting in just a little bit. But first, we want to do a different technique. We're gonna do some ink spritzing, paper dyeing type of situation. And for that, I'm gonna take, let's see, my Tattered Rose Distress Oxide. Let me say hi. I'm sorry. I've just been going. Hello, Amandi. Hi, Mary. Hi. You love on the WHW. What else that? Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. And there are cards that have been made on this channel. So I'm just taking some of the Tattered Rose and rubbing it on my all-purpose mat. And I don't know if you can see that from there, but I've got ink down on it. And, oh, what I forgot to do. I'm going to use some of our Distress watercolor cardstock. It's heavier than our White Daisy paper, but it works really well for this kind of technique. Let me just cut it down. Okay, so I've got a piece. It's about 4 by 5, 4 by 5.5, something like that. And so I'm going to add water to this ink, and now you can see it beaded up. And I'm also going to give the cardstock a little spritz so it'll start absorbing. Kind of make it a little softer. And I just run my finger through that, make a little zigzag. And I'm going to smush my paper in it. I'm not worried about getting the back dirty because nobody's going to see that part. And it's just going to dirty up the front with ink. And this is, you know, where you get messy, get a little artsy, and let it, I guess, make some texture. So, let's see if I can clean this up. That's what I love about the all-purpose mat. Now it's good as new. And if I want to stop the water here, I can just tap it dry. Now, this is a really light color, so you're not seeing a lot of it, but it's tinted. But now I can come back and I can add maybe a little bit of picked raspberry and maybe add a little bit more Tattered Rose over to the side. And now I have a new mix, but I'm going to mix it in so that I get a lighter pink, but it'll be darker than that Tattered Rose. Kind of scooch it to the middle and plop that back in. You see you get a messy front panel like that. And you can just spritz it with water if you want to make it move around some more. Let me clean this up. This is a very, very optional technique. Not a lot of people like to get messy. Some people like to keep their cards very clean. I like both. I like having them clean sometimes. I like having them technique heavy. So now you can see I've got a little bit more of that mismatched splashy color. Okay, and so now on top of that, I'm going to go back and add the distress ink with my blending brush. Just kind of into those white spaces. And give it that second tone. And here, I'll bring it up to the camera and you'll be able to see. The peach and the pink. And I'm going to leave a little bit of white. Just kind of want to get some different tones in there. Okay. Let me see if you can see where it's a little bit of the tattered rose and then the different pinks. Let me shoot it with a little bit of heat to dry off that paper. I can still feel it soft. It looks really, really good like this. I'm super happy with it. I just dry off the back. I'm just kind of alternating from front to back to minimize the curl. Let me see. Hello, Miss Jan. Hi, Mom. Hello, Janet. Let's see here. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in the mask with the heart background. And for that, I'm going to use, here it is, my Bluebell ink. And hopefully this will work with a blending brush. I haven't tried it with my blending brushes. We'll try it off in the side and see if it works. So just pretty much where those hearts are, I'm just, using the mask and rubbing the little brush over the hearts very, very softly. I'm feeling now like my watercolor paper was too small. If it is, I'm just gonna, oh, actually it should be just fine. I feel like the bristles are strong enough that they're not like going underneath. So my hearts should probably, hopefully be nice and filled in, but I still want them subtle. There you go. And then you can just, with a wet paper towel, wipe this down and it's good to use another time. So there you go. Soft blue hearts with that Bluebell ink. And of course you can make them darker or softer just depending on how much pressure you put on it, of course. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3 techniques. And now I'm gonna cut it down because I like having that crisp edge around it. I'm just gonna kind of like it, that background already. I'm not wanting to cover it up. Okay, So there you go, all nice and cut down. And let me just clean off my, see if I've got a border worth saving. Well, since it's not complete, I wouldn't be able to use it for something else. But if I would have had the paper big enough, it would have cut out a border. Then I could definitely save this to use in a different type of application, but no problem. Okay, so there we go. So we're just racking up the techniques. Now, what do I want to do? Okay, so I did cut my Bluebell cardstock to be just 1/8 of an inch bigger. Or I guess 1/16 of an inch, because this is 3 3 3/4, and then this is 3 7/8. So it just barely gives me that little bit of Bluebell around the edge. I'm gonna go ahead and start building up my card. There we go. Hi, Lily. There we go. I love these colors. It works out a lot better even than I had imagined. So we are definitely winning this one. The next thing I want to do is stamp the Just a Note with Bluebell ink. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and bring my regular Versamat back in. And I'm going to turn it around so that I get that cushion. I'm just going to ink it up. I'm going to find a prettier edge. Probably what I need to do is I'm going to spray my hands here on the side and do a quick little wash, because I seem to be a little inky, and I don't want to pass that ink over to this white card. Okay. Flip it over because I did mark it on the other side. Okay, so Just a Note. I'm going to pull it up as to the corner and to the side, because I want to cut it pretty tightly. There we go. I need that. And then right here on this bottom part of the envelope, so when I have it folded, this part's going to go up. So I'm just going to unfold it so I can get a flat surface. And this just says to say I love you. And then I think we've got our stamping done. So far that's, I don't know how many techniques, but we're racking them up. There we go. And now we can just start trimming some of our stuff and start building up. And take this and just kind of give it a little bit of room here that's similar to this spacing over here. And the same thing at the bottom, right about what I have at the top. Let's see here what I've got. And I've got a leftover piece of Bluebell from a different project. And I want that to be just a thin little border as well. Now I'm going to hand trim that. I think I can get it in one little swoop. Pretty good. We can live with it. Okay, where am I? So let me get my card and we're gonna finish this off. So just taking one of my cards from my value pack, We do sell a pack of, I believe it's 50 cards in with envelopes. And just center that up. That's already so pretty, just as it is. And then I'm gonna put that down there. And this here. Now, before I, blah, blah, blah. Before I seal this closed, I'm going to add adhesive all the way across, even to the parts that, you know, might not need the closure, because I'm gonna come back in and add some hearts in here. And since our paper is two-tone, you can add it, you know, going backwards and forwards. And let's see here. And so I want some of this to go ahead and be pre-glued in there. There we go. And then I can just slowly keep on adding more hearts. Oh, I better, I want to add some foam tape in here. I'm not cutting it straight enough. There we go. How are we doing on time? I think this is going a lot faster than I anticipated. I think what's going to kill the timing is the peeling of this stuff. Thank you, Mandy. Okay. I'm just going to add that over and start adding some more little hearts. And I'm just kind of trying to decide, because I'm losing some of that shape. But because I know the pinks are kind of close to in color, and so it's going to be one of those, well, you know, when you see it when you see it closer, the colors will definitely make a difference. But until then, it's going to look suspiciously close. I'm going to add a little bit behind. Let's do it this way. So these are duds. This is too big. So I just want to keep, I want them to like spill out. And kind of just overlap each other all over the place, even if they are the same color. Flip. So I'm not really trying to make a pattern with the colors. I'm just trying to definitely just get them in. And there's even some of these little baby ones. And of course you can add as many as you want. You could totally make them different colors and just cut more. If you don't have this die to cut the hearts, we also have the heart shaker, and those dies make different color or different size hearts as well. Let me just rub this off real quick so I don't get it stuck to the back of my card. And this is our rub and eraser. It does really well for cleaning up wayward adhesive. Okay, I think we're doing good there. I do want to add, of course, some little shiny things. I don't want to add pearls. I'd really like to add some bluebell dots, but I gotta find them. So you're hearing me rifle through my little basket of gems. There we go. I just like to add a little bit of shine and color. But also, don't forget, I also like to add shimmer brush. And so I'm just gonna paint inside these letters. I always tell y'all, the reason this is my favorite stamp set is because this font is just so fun. And it's a really fat one, so you can fill it in with this brush, and you can just brush it in, and it's wide enough to take it without looking messy. Of course, I'm also using a clear shimmer brush, so if I do go a little bit out of the lines, it's not too noticeable. So we're just combining stamp sets and thin cuts and papers, all kinds of embellishments. Wonder if I can get some of these. Okay, hopefully. Thank you, Lily. Hello, Livy. There you go. So now you see all that shine on the letters, even a little bit of shine on those hearts. And we've got the layering. I could have, I guess, put some foam underneath this whole piece as well, but I think it looks really good. The watercolor paper itself has a texture to it, so that's like an added technique. So there you go. I hope you like that. I think it came out really well. Let me show you the one that I made to practice on. I did it with pinks and purples, and I really liked it as well. But this one, I think the blues and the pinks is probably my favorite of the two. So So let's count up the techniques. We've got our ink blending, we've got our smushing, we've got our masking, stamping, water brush, die cutting, foam tape, layering. Guys, I mean our dots. I don't know, we're like at 9 or 10 techniques in this one card. And I don't think it took too long to make it all. Let me see. What's the time? 8:30. 8:30. That's nothing. 30 minutes to make that card. I think it came out really well. Lots of techniques there for you to, learn from and take the techniques that you like that you can use for your cards, whether you take them individually or collectively. Try them all out across different cards. This one definitely is a lot brighter because of the colors. I also used Distress Oxide for these background hearts, and so they were a lot darker. And then I even used some shimmer pen to make some splatters. So that's why that one's like way brighter. So just depending on the color combination that you like. And this one. I think they both came out great. I think, lots of techniques to enjoy and to just use in your arsenal of techniques to put